Hello, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a new series I kind of want to start before the new season is going to drop, the Spotlight series. We're going to take a look here at one specific buff and see also some teams that you maybe want to run on the Pokemon that are going to be better with this buff. And hopefully you enjoy this type of video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Really would appreciate it for this one because again, it is going to be kind of a new series, hopefully, if you enjoy this kind of one. But also, you can now choose in the comment section as well by just writing it down in the comment section what kind of buff you want to have a spotlight on next. So basically what we're going to do here today is we're going to take a look at 3 Pokemon and 5 different teams that are all around Karate Chop. Karate Chop is going to be one of the best new updates for the next season. This move is going to impact especially Shadow Machamp quite a bit and makes this Pokemon insanely strong. This thing now is going to be able to generate energy insanely fast, which is way more than what Counter did before, allowing you to get to a cross chop with just 4 Karate Chops. So 8 turns for 1 cross chop. Cross chop got buffed recently. Shadow Machamp does a ton of damage. This thing is going to be insane. But not only this, Karate Chop buff is going to now allow it as well to get to Stone Edge way faster. Like 7 moves to get to Stone Edge before. Comparably, Rockslide also needed 7 fast moves to get to, but Stone Edge is doing way more damage. And also, what is kind of cool here, you see the minus next to the 7. If you go for 1 Stone Edge, the next Stone Edge is only going to cost you 6 fast moves, which is kind of insane. So, Shadow Machamp, for sure, something you want to have for the next season. And so, here you're going to see as well already like a little bit of statistics for it. This Pokemon is going to be quite insane. And if you want to build it, here are also some IVs. So let's move on for the first team here. We're going to have usually like one more of a funnier team and one more of a very serious team. This is a little bit more of a funnier one. Like also the funny teams are definitely working out. I would really recommend you to try this team out as well. But here we're going to have a triple Shadow team. We're going to have Shadow Machamp with Karate Chop, Stone Edge, as well as Cross Chop, of course. And then we're going to have Feraligatr as well as the Alolan Sandslash here. Alolan Sandslash, interestingly enough, runs Powder Snow this season as its primary fast move as a Shadow variant as well, I think. So here we're gonna see the team already. This team looks like a lot of fun and I think it's going to be kind of a great one to use. But the next team most likely is going to be even a little bit better, but we're going to take a look at this one now as well. But yeah, this thing here is definitely going to work out super well. A combination of the Alolan Sandslash as well as the Shadow Machamp is going to be a key core for the next season. And honestly, I can't wait to try this out. This is going to look like a very solid team to run. Feraligatr, as you say so, of course, is going to be one of the best Pokemon in the upcoming meta. I might even make a specific video towards this Pokemon because I think it's going to be basically the main core Pokemon that you want to have for the next season. But yeah, Feraligatr for sure really worth it. Taking a look now at team number 2 here for the Machamp. That's going to be also the final Machamp team. There are going to be other Pokemon coming up as well still for the Spotlight. We're going to have here the Clodsire in the lead, the Mandibuzz as well as the Machamp. I think this is going to be kind of the best kind of team that you can run. You can also use, if you want to go for double Karate Chop, you can use Pangoro instead of the Mandibuzz as you say so. But this team is looking quite ridiculous. Like, honestly, can't wait to try this one out. There's no real core breaker other than, I guess, maybe Magmar because of the Psy-Wave damage, but you can just stay in, to be fair, and play it out and then just have your Mandibuzz aligned. This is the thing as well. There are some Pokemon that can break the core of Clodsire and Machamp, but usually Clodsire still does some solid damage against those Pokemon, so you can just stay in, wait it out, and then try to align your Machamp later on against other Pokemon, slash you put your Mandibuzz in against whatever is going to be bad against your lead there. So you can kind of, a lot of times, also sacrifice your Clodsire. The only issue with that is then you're going to be kind of weak against Fairy-type Pokemon, but that is going to be fine because, like, yeah, if you're gonna get hard-walled in the lead, that also kind of break something in the back of your, and then they have still a Fairy type in the back. Of course, it's just a team comp loss, but that is kind of fine. Still, I think this team is going to be insanely strong. And we can now take a little look at the second Karate Chopper that we're going to take a look at today. It is going to be Pangoro. Pangoro is going to be also one of the best Pokemon for the upcoming season, being ranked at a number 9 currently on PvPoke. A lot of cool Pokemon that you can pair it with as well, like the Bastion, Carping, Jumpluff, the Alolan Marowak as well apparently, which does make a lot of sense actually, as well as the Galarian Weezing. We have teams here with none of those Pokemon, to be fair, but those are definitely things that you can use as well with this thing. But as you can see, this Pokemon is going to be insanely strong for the upcoming season. Again, Karate Chop making this Pokemon crazy, like honestly. You literally just need 5 Karate Chops to get to a 1 close combat and 4 to get 1 Night Slash. That is ridiculous. Like, honestly, Karate Chop, by the way, if you didn't know, is generating 9 energy per usage, but doing, I think, 5 damage instead of, like, 3, which you have for something like Mud Shot before the recent change, or, like, nowadays Thunder Shock as well as Size. Not what Size Struck is not the move, that is the move of Mewtwo, Psycho Cut. So basically, it is a harder hitting Psycho Cut, a harder hitting Thunder Shock, which is kind of madness. But yeah, anyway, you have 5 turns, like 5 fast moves to get to 1 close combat, 4 fast moves, or 8 turns to get to 1 Night Slash, and that is going to be kind of crazy. It is quite difficult to get this Pokemon with the right IVs, which you're gonna see here as well. You are kind of forced to have one below like level 20, and you usually at least only get this Pokemon from X. There have been events before where we're able to catch it in the wild. For the people who are wondering how do you even get this Pokemon, that's basically the only way of really getting this Pokemon, but I would imagine that we're going to have another event for this eventually as well, because Niantic very likely knows about the problematic that Pangoro needs to be quite a low level. Team number 1 with it is going to be quite similar towards what we had before as well. Of course, it is basically based around having a fighting type Pokemon trying to cover its weaknesses. In this case here, for example, the fairy type weakness with the Clodsire. But honestly, I like this team quite a lot. Why? Because of the Feraligatr Saysop on this team. The thing is here, you have one of the best answers to like fairy type Pokemon in the lead, and Feraligatr is going to for sure bait out something like the Wigglytuff as well, because like Wigglytuff thinks, oh, Shadow Claw going to be double resisted, that's going to be a great matchup for me. But honestly, it's exactly the matchup that we want to have it on, because like this, we are going to be able to bait it out and still have our Pangoro in the back to sweep endgame. And sweeping endgame with Night Slash plus close combat is going to be quite an easy task. Also, for the weakness of flying typing against Pangoro, you have 2 type coverage here as well, with the Stone Edge as well as the Ice Beam, which is going to be very impactful for that as well, especially as now Poison Sting is the recommended and required fast move of Clodsire. Stone Edge and Poison Sting are both going to be neutral slash super effective against Mandibuzz, making this a very positive matchup for you, and this team is going to be insane. I don't see a single core breaker so far for this team. I guess maybe not even Gustload is a core breaker. No, Gustload is not a core breaker at all. This team is basically flawless. I would really recommend you to try this out. I think it's going to be basically the best team that you can run around Pangoro. Team number 2 though is going to be a lot of fun as well, of course. We're going to have some fun here with the Quillfish and Nidorina, and I like this one again because of course you have double poison here, which does make a lot of sense as a dark and fighting type Pokemon. We had the similar stuff already before with Crafty in certain matters, but this Pokemon here is going to, this Pokemon especially in the back here, the Nidorina, is going to be a lot of fun to play. We have 2 Poison Sting users again here, but Quillfish is going to be able to bait out basically anything as well that of course poison type Pokemon would be weak against, but you still have some good coverage for them. For example, against ground types, you have Awkward here. Against flying types, you have Ice Beam, which you kind of need to cover as well for, of course, the Pangoro. But then you're going to have Nidorina. Nidorina has access to the move Thunderbolt as well as Poison Fang. And so Thunderbolt is going to be allowing you to hit something like the Mandibuzz for super effective damage as well, but also Poison Fang plus Poison Sting is going to allow you to drop the opponent's defense, do some stab damage, but also counter, of course, those fairy type Pokemon. And so all the weaknesses of the Pangoro are perfectly covered by the Pokemon in the back. Basically, the answers for Poison type Pokemon getting baited out by the Quillfish, while still at least like against like those ground type Pokemon, you're going to be able to retaliate against them, and then Nidorina can sweep endgame. And so I feel like this team is looking like a lot of fun as well, while it's maybe a little bit more spicy. I think it's definitely kind of working out quite a bit better. And now we're going to take a look at the final Pokemon for today's video. Again, if you enjoy this type of video, we'd really appreciate if you leave a like and let me know in the comment section what next Spotlight should I do. Should I do it on Astonish? Should I do it on like Fairy Wind users, like the Fairy Boys? Let me know in the comment section, would really appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to have Magmar here. Magmar is going to be one Karate Chop user that's also going to be a little bit interesting. I could have went for Primeape here as well, but Primeape would be kind of the same thing as before already, and I kind of want to spice it up a little bit here. And so Magmar is going to be a fire type Pokemon, and Karate Chop giving it such an interesting place in the current meta, where I think actually that the Shadow Magmar has quite some good plays there. I honestly think it has a lot of potential, especially as a Sace-up, because it can bait out some certain Pokemon. Here you're gonna see as well, yeah, EVs that you kinda need. 0, 15, 15, kinda classic for the Open Great League, but normal variant you can run as well, but Shadow definitely going to help you out a bit more. And we have a very cool team prepared, only one team, because again, it's like the spicier one of today, but let's take a look at this one. It is going to be definitely also a little bit of an interesting team. We're going to have the lead of Azumarill. Azumarill is supposed to be very decent against those rock-type Pokemon in the current meta, like Auroras, and here we have Magmar as our bait. Magmar is going to try to, swap into whatever is like good against the Azumarill. Good against the Azumarill is what? Poison-type Pokemon, we have Scorching Sands for you. We're going to have Grass-type Pokemon, we have of course the Fire-typing plus Fire Punch for them. We're going to have Poison-type Pokemon, we're going to have Scorching Sands, which I think I literally just said, so good job me. So you basically cover up the weaknesses of, also, Electric-type Pokemon as well, I want to say. You cover up the weaknesses of the Azumarill quite well with the coverage that you have on the Magmar. But also, Azumarill being good against like rock-type Pokemon, and usually Fire-type Pokemon being bad against rock-type Pokemon, you might be able to bait out something like a Bastion. And I think actually in like 2-shield scenario and stuff like this, you're most likely going to be fine against Bastion with Scorching Sands plus Karate Chop, having double super effective coverage against Bastion, having double super effective coverage there as well against something like the Auroras. And I think that is going to be so much fun to play, because it is basically a fire type that is not really doing what normal fire types would be doing. And then in the back we're going to have Ariados. Ariados being able to beat any kind of grass type, especially for the Azumarill, is going to be a lot of fun to play with as well, so it's going to be more of a spicier team to use. But I honestly think that Magmar is going to be a lot of fun for the next season, so hopefully you enjoyed this little spotlight video here. If you did, would really appreciate again if you would leave a like on the video and subscribe. It's kind of a new series that I kind of want to start, but of course I really hope that it is going to be helpful for you as well. This is kind of the series as well where you can take a look at it later when the season is going to start and see, oh, what kind of team do I want to run around Pangoro as well? And you can see a little bit more into detail there as well, what the Pokemon can do and what kind of team you want to run and how to run them. And so hopefully it's going to be something helpful for you in the future as well. And hopefully you want to see some more of this, and I see you then. Bye bye.